Welcome to Fringe Fanatics with Chad Lee and Chris Zane.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. It is episode 98 of Fringe Fanatics. I am Chris Zane.
And I'm Chad Lee. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, thank you guys. We appreciate it greatly, as we do each and every week when you guys tune in. Anyways, so we've got a good guest this week. We mentioned it. Samuel Njoku, who is the podcast host of Ravens Talk, is going to be joining us here in like 10 minutes. We're going to do our intro and stuff, and then we're going to get him on and then continue the show as per the usual. Mm-hmm. But in the meantime, as it is episode 98, each and every episode, we like to feature the best player to wear that corresponding number. And this week, Chad, who in the hell is it?
We got a good one, man. The Goose, Tony Siragusa.
Yes. Yeah. Also, big Ravens.
Exactly, dude. It worked out like that.
Yeah.
I saw there was somebody else on there. I can't quite remember, but I was like, no, we need to go Tony Siragusa.
Yeah, we got it.
There's the only way.
You got to.
Yep. So he was a defensive tackle that played 12 seasons with the Indianapolis Colts and the Baltimore Ravens. After his football career, he worked as a sideline analyst for NFL games broadcast on the Fox network from 2003 to 2015. He also hosted various shows on television such as the home renovation program Man Caves on DIY Network.
You got to love the Man Cave show on the old DIY.
Yeah, he would be perfect for that. And he was also in like Sopranos. He played a Russian mobster and a few different things. So yeah, he was a true Italian.
That is very, very true. As we mentioned, he did end up playing for the Ravens for the majority of his career, but he was actually an undrafted free agent of the Indianapolis Colts in 1990. He played nose tackle for them as well. He ended up appearing in 13 games, started 6, recorded 1 sack, 36 tackles, and 1 fumble recovery in the 91 season. I'm not going to go through all of it, but he ended up being there through 1996. Ended up taking part in the 95 AFC Championship game, which they narrowly lost. But then he goes to the Baltimore Ravens in 1997, and that is where he became the Goose.
Yeah. He was a man of legend, and you could just go ahead and enjoy yourself by YouTubing all of the Goose's funny moments, because he was quite the character. If did you ever watch The Bullies of Baltimore? I think you said you did, right?
Oh, yeah, I started to, but I don't know if I got all the way through it. That was the one with Charlie Day, right? Or no?
Charlie Day? It's an ESPN E60 thing or one of those.
Yeah, no, there's something else I'm talking about.
Yeah, so it was all about the 2000s Ravens defense and how awesome they were. And then
I did not watch that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what we're talking about right now. I thought we were talking about something else.
That's what it was. It was about the Ravens, and the Goose is just amazing in it. They let him speak quite a bit, and I thought, like, for this, because he is such a great personality. This is posthumous. Rest in peace. Yeah. Taken way too early. I had to find a good piece on YouTube, and I just found like a quick little snippet. This just sums up the Goose so well.
Yeah, let's hear it.
We do our job, make big holes, tackle the bastard. We go home, we drink some beer, we party. It aggravates me to see that.
We party.
That's what it's all about right there, man. I mean, dude, you can go on. It's like a 7-minute long video.
We're going to go home, drink some beers, fucking party.
There was an earlier part of that video where his brother was talking about when he first got signed. He only got like a check of $1,000 as like a signing bonus, like barely anything compared to what these guys got now.
Yeah.
First thing he does, goes to the bar, buys everybody drinks.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Man, just blows it all.
Do it. Yeah.
Perfect for this show.
Well, back then he probably didn't blow all of it. That was only maybe like $500 back then. Nowadays seriously. That'd be a lot.
Yeah.
Speaking of signing bonuses, I was watching the Hard Knocks. Have you been watching it?
Yeah, I'm up to date on it.
Yeah, I haven't watched the newest episode, which comes out today.
Yep.
So yeah. I don't know.
Well, it'll come out tonight around like 7.
I'm caught up.
Okay.
But I just thought it was funny when they had that like their third string quarterback get up there and he sang that song, and then he did his signing bonus and he was like $5,000.
And then you think back like a couple episodes earlier when Caleb Williams did it.
25.5 mil.
5 mil. Way different, dude.
Yeah,
way
for sure.
different.
But yeah, it is pretty wild. But yeah, it's all back to Tony Siragusa. Obviously, he did pass away June 22nd, 2022, at the age of 55. He was definitely taken too early, but that guy,
I mean,
he wasn't one of those guys who after they got out of the NFL lost 200 pounds. Like, nah, he probably gained weight.
Yeah.
And then just kept partying and living the life. So, I mean, he probably went out the way he wanted to.
I mean, dude, he really was the
Who wants to grow
Italian.
old and decrepit?
I mean, think of an Italian that also is a defensive tackle, gets to play on Sopranos and shit like that. I mean, he probably lived the best life, and he probably ate spaghetti and drank wine till
Ate
the day
sketty,
he
dude.
died.
And then James Gandolfini, case in point, dude.
Oh,
Super young.
Yeah.
Ate a big dinner, partying hard.
all those cars,
Died.
man, they'll catch up to you.
Especially, those breadsticks.
I'll run down the stats real quick, man,
Let's hear
because
it,
he
Chad.
really was a part of. I mean, it's the '85 Bears and the 2000 Ravens, and Chris will argue the 2015
yeah,
Broncos.
the 2015 Broncos.
Yeah, that's up there. But 2000s Ravens defense, I mean, I think
They were good.
yeah, when I watched that, I knew they were good, but I did not realize that they never allowed an opponent during the season to score over 10 points.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Remarkable, man. There's
They're
no
almost
words for
boring
it.
games, so you almost feel bad for their fans. Like, those games had to be pretty boring.
There was the streak where their offense didn't score a touchdown, I think, for 4 games, and they still won? I mean, come on.
Yeah, the Broncos did that one. Well, there was that Chiefs-Broncos game where it was, 6-3 or something with Tim Tebow back in the day.
Yeah, that was a pretty boring one. Yeah.
But nonetheless, they were really good.
Yep, and he was a big part of that. He was a big dude. 564 total tackles, 22 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, and 9 fumble recoveries. So
Yeah.
he was good at hopping on that ball.
Yeah, well, he probably just fell on it.
Yeah.
Probably was just more of happenstance.
No one wanted to get under that.
But yeah, so
hats
anyways.
off to you, Mr. Tony Siragusa.
Yes, indeed.
R.E.P., sir.
The Goose.
Yeah,
Goose. That's, a little Top Gun for you, too.
it's true. I'm sure Samuel will be proud that we did that one.
Yeah. Well, we'll get him on shortly. We got 3 minutes. What do you want to do? Or should we just call him?
I think we should probably just give him a ring. I
Give
just
him
told
a
him we
ring.
had to get through our intros, so he might be ready.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's 3 minutes, right? Here we go. That was nothing.
Hello.
Samuel, what is up, man? You are on with Chris Zane and...
Chad Lee, thanks for coming on, man.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me.
No worries, man. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy night to join us. So it is greatly appreciated.
Of course. No worries.
Yeah, man. So you have a really good podcast. Over the last few days, I've been doing a little research and doing my homework, checking into seeing what is going on with the Ravens, and you got a good flow there, man. I listened to that one where you had the Bengals guy on last week, or about 6 days ago. Man, that was hats off to you having the old rival on, man. That was good. Kept it nice and
Thanks,
civil.
Man. Appreciate it. yeah. I mean, AFC North guys, there's a lot of respect for each other, so it's pretty chill usually.
Usually, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, the AFC North is, a vaunted division up there, so you got to have respect, even though the hatred's there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't mind, sir, can you give us a quick little rundown of how you got into starting Ravens Talk and your fandom into how you became a Ravens fan?
Yeah, so actually I started as a sports writer for Examiner.com. Not a lot of people remember that. It's kind of like, closest thing I can think of it as Bleacher Report, but more of a traditional news source. So I was with Examiner.com from 2009 to about 2010, 2011, and then I went ahead and worked for CBS Baltimore and covered the Ravens and sometimes the Terps and Orioles from 2011 to about 2014. After that, I took a little bit of a break, and then in 2020, I came back to working for Sports Illustrated. I did a couple of local articles for Sports Illustrated for the Baltimore Ravens, and then after that, I decided, it's time to do my own thing, give back to the fans and really give my insight to what I think about the game and the Ravens as a whole. So I've been doing Ravens Talk. This will be our second season, and it's been very fun.
Well, that's cool, man. That's a smart way to go about doing it. I don't know if you saw recently that Sure you did. It was all over Twitter and stuff. But Robert Griffin Jr. Griffin the third, after getting laid off, was just kind of like, well, I guess I'll just go do my own thing. Started his podcast.
Yeah, that's the way it's going.
That's the way to do it these days,
the
you
way
know?
it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, hats
Love
off to
it.
you for getting it started, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into a little bit of the Ravens. Obviously, we're talking about one of the best rushing teams in the league last year. Led the league with 2,661 yards. Their O-line did lose 3 starters, though, in free agency and whatnot, but they added starting right tackle Roger Rosengarten in the second round from Washington and added some depth in offensive tackle Josh Jones from Houston via free agency, though. The biggest thing is Derrick Henry is now a part of this already scary run offense. How are you guys feeling about it? What do you think it's going to look like this year?
I think what you mentioned first is going to be a big part of what happens with this run unit. I think if the offensive line can gel, you mentioned Rosengarten. They have Angie Voorhees, who didn't play last year, but they're really high on him, so he's likely going to start at left guard. And then either Ben Cleveland or I'm missing the name is losing it for me, but they have a couple of guys that can plug in at right guard. And if that unit can gel and be maybe 85 to 90% of what it was last year, I think Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson are going to have a monster season. I think those two are really I think Derrick Henry is going to do what not many running backs have been able to do with Lamar Jackson. That's really give him a chance to be a passer of the football while still having that third of the run in the back of the mind to the defensive coordinator. So I think it could be a huge year for Derrick Henry, but I think it starts with that offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even be a little bit surprised if in terms of what he normally did, it's like a little bit of a down year in terms of like his total stats. But what he's going to do for that offense, I feel like, is just going to open it wide up, like you were kind of mentioning with the ability to pass and stuff like that. I'm definitely excited. I went all in on it on my fantasy team, not to bring up fantasy teams, but definitely ended up with Lamar and Derrick Henry in our work league. I'm pretty excited about it.
You're upset. You're upset, sir.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Barring injury, we don't want to jinx anybody, but
exactly.
Looking forward to it, to say the least.
Yeah.
So who do you think's going to be you got Justice Hill backing up Derrick Henry. Obviously that's going to be a scary rushing attack. But the big question right now is who's going to be backing him up, really? I mean, we got Justice Hill, and then Keaton Mitchell's coming off of that ACL injury, but that was like week 15, so it's going to be a while before he's ready. There's talks out there, I've heard on Locked On Ravens and stuff, that they might be looking to try to get Samaje Perine after he was released. That's an option.
Yeah.
What do you think the route they're going to go is?
Well, they're technically on right. Broke his foot, and he was looking like that RB3, but once his injury was confirmed, it looked like Rasheen Ali, who they drafted out of Marshall, would be that guy, but he's been dealing with a stinger. He hasn't had much preseason action, so the look on him is limited. So a lot of people think that they're going to look outside for some running back help. And Kevin Ostrager, who's the host of Locked On Ravens, he's right. That could be a guy that they look at, but there's also a chance that they just stand pat, keep Ali on, and hope that he does enough, because right now it appears as though Derrick Henry is going to be the cowbell, and you'll have Justice Hill supplanting him when he's too tired to go, of course. And then maybe Rasheen Ali, a rookie, who they want to get a good look at, and will be that third guy. But you're right. They have some good options out there, and who knows who they bring in. But I think for now, depth chart-wise, Ali will be that third running back.
Yeah, that makes sense. I could see that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Real quick, we'll shift a little bit back to that offensive line, and I'd be remiss without saying my condolences for the Ravens community and the whole, community, I should say. It's a touchy thing. After the loss of Joe D, we've heard nothing but great things. Him as a person and a coach. It's awesome that John Harbaugh is dedicating this season to him and Jacoby Jones. Then there was also the other kind of scare on the offensive line. Could you remind me the name of the offensive lineman that got into a car wreck the other day? And if he's doing all right, I heard he was in concussion protocol.
Yeah. Man, the name is escaping me again. I want to say it's Colin the Bomb. He's a center. He didn't get hurt. I can't think of it, but yeah, he's in concussion protocol.
There's
It doesn't look to be
Tyler
as serious as it
Lindenbaum.
was.
Yeah.
Tyler Lindenbaum. If it is Tyler Lindenbaum, he looks like he returned to practice, and he's dealing with a neck injury. He was a non-contact guy, but he's still scheduled for week 1 of the season. So it looks like he's going to be okay with that. Josh Ross was the linebacker that got in a car accident.
Oh,
recently.
thank you. Excuse me. That's I was
yeah.
way off. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
Yeah,
that's
no
why.
worries.
I was just
Okay.
looking at the depth chart, just throwing names out, hoping that I sparked a memory.
Oh man,
So it was a
yeah.
linebacker.
My
yeah.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah. He looks like he's in concussion protocol, but he's fine. And Mark Andrews, the star tight end, had a car accident a couple of weeks ago. He still hasn't practiced yet, but John Harbaugh confirmed that he should be good to go for week 1 as well.
Man, what's the deal? Are there like bad drivers out there in Baltimore or what?
It is. It's pretty bad.
He's like,
Pretty
it
bad.
is. It's right
I was gonna
there.
say they're almost like the Georgia college team at this point with all the trouble they're
Yeah.
getting into driving.
Yeah, could be other people causing it too. Who knows, man?
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know that he's doing all right. Then that's awesome.
Yeah.
So last year, and we'll get to the elephant in the room eventually with me being a Chiefs fan, Chris being a Broncos fan.
boy.
Yeah, we'll address that. But last year, the Baltimore had the number 1 defense in the league. I mean, they were stingy. Their defensive coordinator, Mike McDonald, did leave. He was a big reason for their success. He took a promotion as the Seahawks head coach. They also had to replace 3 other defensive assistant coaching jobs. That's why a lot of people are kind of thinking that might be some holes that they have to fill. And then Patrick Queen departed. Do you think their defense takes a step back this year under Zach Orr, a new defensive head coordinator, or continues their dominance?
Well, anytime anyone asks me this, I always mention Zach Orr has never called a play for a team ever in his career. Not in college, high school, NFL, he's never called plays. This will be his first time doing so. So I think what made McDonald so special was his ability not only to be a great play caller, but to react and, figure things out mid-game. He did that against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. And he's just really good at doing that. So we don't know what Zach Orr is capable of. I think there's no lack of talent here. I think the Ravens are pretty set talent-wise, and in some regards, especially at DB, the Ravens will be better than last year in some regards. So it'll be up to Zach Orr to figure it out. I think there'll be some growing pains. I'm not going to sit here and say they'll be the same defense because that defense last year was historically good. But I think the Ravens are confident in Zach Orr. I just take the wait-and-see approach with it.
Yeah, that's a smart way to go about it. Yeah, and I mean, I don't blame you one bit for really having all the faith and confidence in the world that they're going to, if not maybe, be better. I mean, you got maybe the best linebacker duo in the league with Patrick Queen and Kyle Van Noy, and then you just re-signed Van Noy, so I think you're set. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, before we get into the elephant in the room, as Chad mentioned, I did want to ask you a quick question, and it is it's a little off topic in terms of sports. Are you aware of the comedian Ryan Sickler?
Ryan Sickler. The name sounds so familiar. No.
Okay.
I'm going to say no just because I'm going to.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask. He's a big Baltimore guy, and that's where he's from. He also has a podcast.
Oh, I do know Ryan Sickler. Just Googled him. Yeah.
Yeah, he also has a podcast called the Honeydew Podcast, but he's a super huge Baltimore fan. I was just wondering if you were aware of him. That's one of my
I
favorite
know him
podcasts to listen to.
That's awesome. I haven't listened to his podcast before, but I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, do it.
You might have to have him on and do some Ravens talk, man.
There
I
you
bet
go,
he'd be
man.
more than
Oh,
willing
that'd be
to.
good. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I might check it out.
There you
Definitely.
go. Cross promotion's the best way to go,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Chad, take us into it.
All right, man. I know I did. It's funny. Over the last few episodes, it's great how transparent you are. Where you have mentioned, he's like, "Yeah, we're talking about the AFC Championship game, but I know you've heard it 900 times, but dude, I get it. I've been there. When the Chiefs lost to the Patriots that first year of Patrick starting, that was really tough. So I get your hunger, and let's just get to it. The NFL gifted us a rematch of last year's AFC Championship for the season opener. Here coming up next week. We know the Ravens will be very motivated to get their vengeance, but the Ravens lost their defensive coordinator and Patrick Queen, and the Chiefs also lost L'Jarius Sneed and Willie Gay. Do you think the Ravens have reloaded enough to avenge their playoff loss? How do you think that game's going to go? A prediction.
I've been going back and forth with it for a little bit. Snead's loss is definitely big. It's going to come down to if the Chiefs understand that the Ravens are going to come in and run in the football. If they have a plan, your defensive coordinator is one of the best in the business. I think he's going to be prepared for it. So if they if they have a plan to stop Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson from getting it going on the ground, it could be another close game. But again, the one thing we don't know how the offensive line is going to do. Steve Spagnuolo is really good at targeting the weakness. They know that they have inexperienced interior linemen, so they could just push the agenda, get the guys in the middle. Last AFC Championship game, the Chiefs did a good job of really attacking the outside tackles and blitzing and making Lamar Jackson uncomfortable. I don't think that's going to work this time. I think they're going to really try and establish the run, but if the Ravens can't do that, it could be a long game. So my prediction, I'll say the Ravens win by a field goal.
There you go. All right, that's the confidence I like. That's cool.
I think they're more motivated. It's just same old for the Chiefs. Of course, everybody's picking the Chiefs to win. I think this is the bigger game for the Ravens, but I think the real test will come if they meet in the playoffs come January 2025.
Oh, yeah, that's when it really matters for sure.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And, I was looking at our 53-man roster that came out today. Lots of news. It was, your alerts and everything was blowing up today. I look at the Chiefs roster, and I'm looking at the cornerback room, man, and outside of Trent McDuffie, I am worried. That's where I see our big weakness,
Yeah.
I feel like if, it's easy to say, if we can stop Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson on the ground, because that's an insurmountable task in its own. But if they are able to do that, if Lamar can get it going with Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews, that's when I think you could really have some success. We do have some really good safeties, but Jalen Watson, I just watched his last preseason game, and he was playing pretty much near the whole game, and now he's listed as the second cornerback. I think that's going to be a big weakness in the area to exploit the Chiefs.
I love your receiver group. I think if Hollywood Brown comes back and you guys have Xavier Worthy and, too much on the rookie isn't, wise, and I usually don't like to do it, but just having those two speedsters with Patrick Mahomes is just deadly. It's not the same offense as last year, at least I don't think so. Giving him those speedy weapons will make things a little more difficult for the Ravens, and so they may not be able to have the luxury of running the ball and slowing things down if you guys go up 2 touchdowns in the first half. So that's the other things to look at, in my opinion, yeah. So the cornerbacks, it sucks to not have Snead in there, but I think for this game coming up, you might not necessarily need 2 dynamic corners. I think if you have a guy on Zay Flowers and, hope that you don't give Lamar enough time to find Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely, then it could be an evenly matched game. I still think it comes down to if the Ravens are able to run the football this time and do it effectively without having experience in the interior line to support Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry going off.
Yeah, that's a good point. I sure hope we don't need him, but I feel like we're going to. It's going to be a juggernaut. It's going to be a slugfest, man. Yeah, I had to deal with it last year when they lost to the Lions in the season opener, and I think that's going to be their big motivation to not go through that again. And they don't have Kadarius Toney out there dropping passes.
That's
true.
true.
I just released him.
Yeah,
Thank goodness.
You guys can pick him up. Go ahead.
Nope, we're good.
If you pick him up, you might drop him, just like he drops balls.
It's contagious. Yeah, it's contagious.
Contagious Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah, gosh.
Before we let you get out of here, man, I know you said you kind of covered the Orioles a little bit. How are you feeling about the Orioles this season? They're right behind the Yankees, one of the best teams in baseball. That's got to be good.
Yeah.
Things are good in Baltimore right now.
Okay, so full disclosure, I told my editor at the time I did not want to cover the Orioles unless they made it to the playoffs and they absolutely needed me because I am a diehard Orioles fan and I would be completely unbiased. With the Ravens, I'm pretty even keeled. I know how to call the game without seeming like I'm a fan or whatnot, but with the Orioles, I can't help it. And so I can tell you, with the fandom coming with the Orioles, I can tell you that Orioles fans aren't happy. The Orioles have been kind of shaky. Lots of injuries, of course, that are causing them to really fall back a little bit. But they're still keeping pace with the Yankees, like you said. We're really excited about that, but we're thinking World Series or bust, and it's just going to be difficult. They play the Dodgers this go around this series, and if they could pick up a series win, it'll definitely help out the confidence. But the fandoms they're pretty they're looking to not feel disappointed at the end of the season like we did last year. The Orioles had the best record in all of baseball, and they lost in their first series in the playoffs.
Yeah, that can happen, in those 7-game series. Yeah, and like you mentioned, that Dodgers round of games starts tonight, 8:10 our time. I don't know what time is that in your guys' time.
10 o'clock at the East Coast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone to Camden Yards? I've heard it's like one of the best stadiums in the whole league.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful. If you just go, if you're a baseball fan, you'll enjoy yourself. It's definitely a sight to behold.
I've always
Very
wanted
nice.
to. Anytime I watch a game, I'm like, wow, this is a historic looking stadium here. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, man, we appreciate you hopping on. If you would like, kind of shout out where people can find you before we let you get out of here, and then we'll proceed to let you have a good rest of your night, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Ravens Talk Pod. You can also find me on Instagram at Ravens Talk Podcast and on YouTube at Ravens Talk Podcast. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We also have a website, ravenstalkshow.com, where I write articles as well as post our podcast episodes, so you can have multiple venues to catch our stuff.
Smart, man.
Nice,
Multiple
man.
outlets. That's cool. Hopefully in the future, if either my Chiefs or the Broncos perhaps meet in the playoffs, maybe we can get you back on and do a little preview show or something.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, that would be
I
nice.
feel like it's going to be I'd be too stressed out man, that'd be crazy. And the Broncos are looking good, too. Don't sleep on the
That's
Broncos.
what I keep telling them,
I'm
man.
a realist.
I
I'm
keep
a
telling
realist.
them that. Have faith.
I'm
dude.
like, if we get
Yeah,
7
man.
wins this season, I'll be excited.
It'll be more than 7.
I think so, but I'm more of that. I like to shoot low. That way, when it's above that, I'm like, yes,
Yeah, you still got the Chiefs in your division, so I get it.
I know that's what's up.
Speaking of that, man, just beat up on the Bengals for me, man. I'd much rather see you guys in the playoffs or something. I can't deal with any more of the Burrow chase
Njoku.
thing. No, I'd rather deal with a run game than that air attack.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm not really sold on Burrow. Yeah, I get it. He did what he did a couple of years ago, but you got to show me what you can do now that you've had those injuries and had a chance to come back. And the AFC North's tough. It's not guaranteed that he even makes the playoffs.
Sure.
But
Yep. You got the Browns
that's
there too.
Yeah, the Browns are due. Steelers always lingering, and we'll see what Joe Burrow can do. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Make sure it's nothing. Go tell
Yeah.
those guys, man. Go tell them. Go to the locker room or something.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, dude. Well, we appreciate it, man. Looking forward to doing this again sometime in the future. Thanks again.
No problem, man. Nice meeting you guys. Have a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you do
you
the
too.
same, man. Have a great night.
Take it easy.
You too. Bye.
Well, hell yeah. Little Ravens talk. I try to keep it as civil as possible.
Yeah,
Try not to put
I
any
could hear you
salt
getting
in the wound.
excited over there, though. You're
Yeah,
getting
man.
all wound up.
Dude, I did not think we were going to win that game last year against the Ravens. That shocked me, man. So if it comes around next year, I could see them really trying to get revenge, but
Yeah.
we'll see, man.
We will see.
It's a whole new NFL this year.
It's a whole new world.
Speaking of magic carpet.
Yes. Let us, fall in love like Aladdin. But it is time for the music break. This is the last time we will be featuring Flavor from New York City, and my band, the Born Readies, will be playing with them next Tuesday. Again, it's a school night, I know. It's tough to go out on a school night. Nobody wants to do it, but sometimes you got to for the sake of rock and roll.
I think sometimes it's good to just go into work a little hungover every now and then. You know, I'll recommend it.
Yeah.
As long as you're not late, as long as you're not like
I can be
dangerous.
late without being drunk, or hungover. So
as long as it's not too bad.
Yeah,
You gotta do it every now and then.
Exactly.
Support.
So yeah, that's next Tuesday, 9/3, September 3rd at the Crypt down in Denver. We have Morning Oil and we've got Flavor. There's another band that hopped on, which is slipping my mind right now. Forgive me. But yeah, we'll be sharing that stuff. But the name of this last song we are featuring is You're My Hovercraft, and that is coming at you right now. Oops, no, that's the wrong thing. Whoops. Now it's coming at you. And we are back, and it's time to do the rest of the show.
All right, guys, we had that awesome guest on. We had a
Yes.
little Ravens talk. Let's get into the rest of the show.
Let's get into our talk.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's talk our talk. Let's walk our walk. And yeah.
Well, I know a few people, a special little lady, that's what she likes to hear the most. She'll listen to what we like to do for our weekend, and like what we did today. Sometimes she's like, "Did you guys not talk about your weekends?" And I'm like, "No, we had the guest on first. You just need to
you gotta
fast
listen
forward
yeah.
or something. Or listen. I don't care." Yeah. So let's hear it, Chris.
Yeah.
We had our draft on Saturday.
Yeah, I had the draft on Saturday. That went well, I think.
That was a good time.
No real issues.
Yeah.
It was a good time getting everybody together, hanging out.
Good turnout too.
Yeah, I think everybody but one of us made it.
Yeah, fucking
think,
Jamie. He was
yeah,
actually trying to
Jamie.
be all cool, like trying to get Roy McIlroy's autograph at
No,
the
I
BMW
asked
change.
him, and he said he didn't go.
Oh, that's what I heard. I guess I don't know.
That's what I said. And he's like, no, I didn't go to that. And I was like, you're a liar.
Whatever.
But either way, nonetheless, yeah, that was fun, man. Getting together at the old B-dubs, getting some wangs.
Do you think the wings were cold?
I don't know. It's tough to say because I felt
They
like
were-
I had them after a little bit.
I mean,
Dude,
they
you
were
know what I've
definitely-
been realizing though? The last few times I've gone to Buffalo Wild Wings, it's been subpar.
Oh, easily,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, that's the thing. Is like the hangout, the draft. That was all
Yeah.
fun. The food, other than the potato wedges, which were really fucking good.
Those were very fresh. They
Yeah.
burn your mouth. Those were fresh.
Those were good.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything else. I mean, the mango habanero, it was like barely sauced. You know, I was like,
Yeah, I've realized you got to ask for wet, and it's a weird thing to order.
let me get my wings wet.
Yeah,
I mean, they're supposed to come like that, dude.
yeah, you would think,
But damn,
dude.
that's
I get
weak.
wet. I get wet wings.
That's why it's like Chili's is the only like chain kind of place like that we're really fucking with these days.
Yeah.
Chili's is shit.
You do love Chili's.
Yeah, she got me on that tip.
Yeah,
But
I do love
let's
the
hear
chips
it,
and
man.
salsa.
What'd you guys do after that?
After that, I went and helped Merrill at the Magic Makers Market. It was over in Arvada at Thane's Table, which is
Okay.
like people can go there. That's like a bar that you can play like board games at, and then they have like Magic the Gathering and like
Oh.
D&D tournaments, but people are
Sweet.
playing like Ticket to Ride and shit like that.
That's cool.
But there was like a burlesque show. It was called Duelesque, and it featured chicks, people, I don't know, as people from Dungeons and Dragons, and then from Magic the Gathering, and then they were like doing
Nice.
themed burlesque
That's
to
cool,
that.
man.
And then they had this chick Boobzilla show up.
Like from Barbzilla, like the old, like a reference to that.
Maybe. I don't know, but this chick pulled her boobs out, and there was pasties, though.
Yeah.
But she smashed cans with them.
Whoa, so one of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she, what else did she do? She, like, had these crazy handcuffs and, like, long chains that she, like, put around them all crazy. It was pretty wild.
That's
I
nuts,
was like,
man.
this is wild to be happening, like, at 6 o'clock on a
Humans are
Saturday.
crazy.
Humans are wild. The first thing my dad says when I told him, he was like, she's going to get cancer.
Just like from what? Smashing cans or
I don't know.
God
I thought
damn.
it was hilarious.
That's
But
fucking
remember
brutal.
back in the day, did you ever hear like they were like, don't give people purple nurples because you can give them breast cancer? You
no,
never heard
I
that?
never heard that. No, it's
weird.
I think that's like one of those myths.
like a
that's
wives'
if you
tale.
beat off,
Yeah.
you
You're gonna go blind, or the one that they said we're gonna grow fur. You're gonna grow hair on your hand. Did you ever hear that?
No,
one?
I never heard that one. That
yeah.
is weird.
Yeah.
That's like a wolf man told
Yeah,
somebody that or
yeah.
something. That's
Anyways,
nuts,
that's
man.
quite the sidebar. So
That
we
sounds
did
like
that.
An interesting time.
Yeah, Sunday I watched the old last preseason game with my pops. We had a little puppy play date, and it wasn't really a play date because my mom's dog doesn't like my dogs. But we had them over at my parents' house.
The
They
third
made some
preseason
food.
game's always like just such a letdown. I mean, it's not.
Yeah,
really
it was
worth
kind of cool watching Zach Wilson go off.
Man,
but,
he
yeah,
did. He had
yeah.
a great game.
That was cool. Other than that, yeah, like the second half, you're like, I don't even know who these guys are.
I know. It's like none of these guys would make the team.
Yeah,
I
so,
lose interest.
Yeah.
cool.
Then I'm trying to think what else I did. Oh yeah, I mowed and shit on Saturday. Saturday morning, I got mowed the whole area.
Damn.
That's always fun.
Hell
You
yeah.
know, getting the mowing on, getting my landscaping.
Like an old farmer, man, getting
Yeah,
up at the crack of dawn, getting it done.
Getting her done.
Hell yeah, man.
We watched The Murder of Air McNair.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I watched that on Sunday.
Oh, you did watch it? Oh,
Yep.
so we both watched it. Look
Yeah.
at that. That was pretty good.
Pretty crazy, man.
Meryl didn't know about those shows because it's the Untold series.
Oh, dude, today the new one came out.
Yeah, I
that
know
wanted
about
to talk
Michigan.
I figured I'd talk about when we talk about college
Yeah,
football.
we'll talk about it. But she was all stoked on it. She's like, I'd watch these. And I was like, sweet, now we can just watch these.
Sick, man. Yeah, I would rewatch them. Yeah, they're awesome.
That's why I told her. I was like, I'd rewatch most of them.
Yeah,
'cause
for
all
real.
pretty
They're
good.
that good,
Yeah.
man. It is really crazy. I feel like the Air McNair one wasn't... I mean, it's not like it wasn't as good. I just feel like the substance material wasn't as... I guess edgy or intriguing as like some of the other ones. It was a
Yeah.
real bummer, but it to me in the
Like
long
right away,
run-
I already knew what happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I remember he got killed. I couldn't remember who did it, but then they're like, yeah, it was this 20-year-old chick. I was like, she did it. Yeah, she killed both of them.
But then in the documentary, spoilers, whatever, they kind of make it seem like it might be this other guy and stuff. But like to me, it's like he was at least an accomplice. He needs to be fucking charged.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah,
and
yeah.
in the grand scheme of things, like after you watch the whole thing, your lesson is just like, dude, if you're an NFL star, don't get sucked into this, man. You got killed by a mistress.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah. For one, you need to have security. You got killed in your
He
apartment.
did. The guy wasn't there though. Remember?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's like, if I would, because they got into like a fight over like a check that was written for the Gridiron restaurant he had,
I
Steve
see.
McNair's Gridiron Grill or
Damn.
something. It was pretty wild. The thing that I thought was the craziest was I forgot that they made it all the way to the Super Bowl that first year. They were the Tennessee Titans.
You forgot that?
I totally
Oh,
spaced that.
That's my first real Super Bowl. I mean, not like, I guess like vivid one, because I remember watching the Cowboys and Steelers whenever I was like real young, but faint memories. This is the one that I remember, like, I guess 99, I would have been 11, or 2000, whatever year that would have been in the Super Bowl time. Anyway, I will never forget just watching it being like, 1 yard short. Like, oh my God.
Like, ah!
I mean, dude, it's like a movie. I mean, it's just insane. And the heartbreak they had to go through. And dude,
Yeah.
Jeff Fisher's interviews through it, it's pretty badass.
Made me like him a lot. You always do feel bad for him because like he's known of the king of being 7-9. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he, had those horrible years that ended his career with the Rams, and then Jared Goff goes on to go to the Super Bowl with
Yeah.
Sean McVay, and totally turn his career around. So I think the NFL just kind of evolved out of him, but he was kind of a badass. Kind of reminded me of like a character from Yellowstone or something. Had a little bit of that Southern
And
accent.
he was like sitting there in that big chair, which was like 4 times bigger than he was,
And
he
it
was
looked
just,
like he
in
was-
one side of it.
Kind of looked like a country home too.
Yeah.
Like, damn, dude, Yellowstone.
But yeah, that was a good one. I recommend it. We also started watching. We're trying to get through The Witcher. We're trying to finish all the shit we started.
That's such a weird show.
It is weird. If I hadn't played the video game, I probably wouldn't be that into it. But Meryl likes the fantasy stuff, so she's into it too.
Yeah,
But
that works.
yeah.
Did you guys watch the first season of Rings of Power?
no, we need to do that.
Oh man, for one, okay, Wheel of Time. If she watches this stuff, write it down.
Yeah, we
dude.
never did Wheel of Time.
She
either.
would love Wheel of Time, man.
I'll text it to her right now.
Yeah, Wheel of Time. It's amazing. It's on Prime, and then Rings of Power,
Yeah.
dude. So I literally just finished before you got here. I was downstairs working out and just finished rewatching the first season. And it came to me. I'm like, dude, this blows House of Dragon out of the water. Especially
Wheel of
that.
Time?
No, not Wheel of Time.
Oh.
Wheel of Time's great. That's a
Rings of
separate
Power. Sorry.
Yeah, but it's like they're both like fantasy and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But like I'm just kind of getting at like have her watch Rings of Power if she likes Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. But as far as like fantasy, I think it does it better than any other show out there.
Really?
Like when it comes to just kind of like that type of fantasy world, it just blows House
They
of Dragon
spent
out of the
some
water, man.
insane amount of money on
And
it. I remember
you
that.
totally see it. The writing, everything. To me, it is just exquisite, dude. I just find like it is so good. And the new season comes out on Thursday. I am so pumped, dude. Rings of Power, excellent, dude.
There's
I love
no
it.
way we'll watch all of them by then, but we might be able to get caught up.
You can watch both.
That's true. We'll just watch them just side by side. We'll watch episode 1 of both on the same night.
Yeah, but I think she'll dig it, dude. Rings of Power is fantastic.
All right, well, we'll have to check that out.
Yep.
Your weekend, go.
All right, my weekend was awesome. Went to State House, had a blast. Definitely our cheers.
When are they going to sponsor us?
Yep. I don't know, man. They're a pretty big conglomerate, so it's pretty tough. Yeah. I think they have like the umbrella company for them has like 18 different bars. Yeah. So it's quite a bit. But I'll reach out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a great time, great food, and then Saturday is when we had a really good time, man. We had a blast. We went to Alex Beal and Sarah Beal's wedding.
That.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
That
I was supposed to come over, but I didn't.
Yeah, it was probably one of the best weddings I've been into a long time, man. It was just so much fun. They had it at this place called The Patio right next to Sloan's Lake, where I used to live. And they had a band play called El Paso Lasso from Texas.
That's a cool name.
Yeah, they formed up in Breckenridge, and their whole thing is like they do covers of like old, basically emo songs like Blink-182, Green Day, and I mean they play Beastie Boys, they play Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Songs?
Huh?
As country songs?
No, just they play those songs.
I just heard El Paso Lasso, and I was hoping
I
they did
could
like
kind of
country spins on those
see
songs.
that. They did a Screamo version of Britney Spears. That was crazy. But, dude, they freaking rocked, man.
Nice.
I mean, dude, if afterwards it felt like I was at a concert. For one, congrats to Alex and Sarah. We love those guys. They're really good people. We've had Alex on before, and we will have him on pretty soon because he's like an expert in college football, and that's coming up.
It's here.
Yep, it is. Yep, next weekend we get all of it. And
Thursday.
Dude, the food was awesome. We saw also a lot of other good friends there. And dude, he had like the sweetest, nicest old grandma that was like jamming out to like Blink-182 and Green Day and stuff. And I look over and she's got like these sick ass Nikes on and she's just jamming out. And so I go meet her and I'm just like, "You are so pretty." And she's like, "Well, thank you."
You're hitting on old ladies,
dude.
You rap.
They love me, man.
Yeah, you like cougars.
Well, ask Hannah. They love me. I can't help it. I'm a charmer.
Yeah, well, you know, what can you do?
But man, it was a good time. So happy for those guys. Looking forward to seeing them at Dawn's this year. And congrats to the newlyweds and thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Sunday, you
woke up early, mowed like the old farmer. Got up early before breakfast. Got the yard all taken care of. Dude, and I am getting like, because I actually have like a decent backyard now, I'm trying to go like baseball landscaper on this.
Yeah.
I did it
diagonal?
I've done the diagonal for the last few
times. Did you go the other way?
I went diamond pattern, dude. Straight up outfield. It looks sick.
Did you cut them at different lengths? Or did you just
no, I know that's how you do it. And the thing of it is,
you literally
like,
just went diamond and then went diamond again.
The other way.
Yeah.
So the tire marks kind of make it look like a diamond. Yeah. But it would bother me if they were all different lengths. That would kind of egg at me.
Well, I think that's how they do that.
Yeah.
It's like
it's like a fraction of a different length.
Like it's always crazy. I remember looking out at like Coors Field, like the outfield, and just being like, it's crazy those guys went to college to fucking cut grass.
I marvel at it, dude. I totally marvel at it.
Like the people who take care of golf courses are like fucking PhDs and shit.
They're like super. They get paid so much money, man.
That's crazy,
it's nuts,
man.
Yeah, so I kind of went ham on that, trying to just go like super. That's how you know you're almost 40, where you're like, I care so much about my lawn.
I'm gonna cut my lawn and
make it look
the
all
correct
pretty.
ways. Yeah. Well, technically, they say you're supposed to go different. Like you're supposed to do that to get a good growth pattern.
My neighbor, I've talked about Joe from Jersey. He always talks about, you gotta water. He's got that type accent. He's awesome.
You been watering?
So, dude, he takes immaculate care of his yard. So it almost like makes me raise my motivation to make sure but mine's never going to be.
Most people around me don't, so I'm like, as long as mine's okay.
Just cut. As long as the city's not sending me letters of finding me.
No, it looks good. I mean, the front lawn looks good. The back's pretty wild sometimes. But.
Well, the rest of Sunday was just chill. We went to the pool, and then I did finish that book, Empire, the Summer Moon, and oh my god, dude, it was amazing. I feel like my heart was ripped out of my chest and just felt so bad for so much of it. So yeah, just totally worth the read. Empire, the Summer Moon, great book about the last Comanches.
Yeah, I still need to watch Killer of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, definitely get the tissues ready, man. Or a punching bag, because you're probably going to get pissed.
Beat up.
Either or.
I want to beat up.
Yep.
Fucking Leonardo.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
After that, it was cool. We played cards and did that shredded chicken crock-pot meal again. So that was
that's
awesome.
nice.
That
Yeah,
was good,
that's
man.
good.
Been
Oh,
eating
yeah.
good in the neighborhood.
Eating good in the neighborhood.
Hell yeah. All right, well,
So-
I'm sure everybody's tired of hearing about our lives.
Yeah.
So,
Let's get into the lives of the rich and famous.
yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Here we go.
Headlines! Get your headlines here!
That's right. Each and every week, we give you all the hot news through all the major sports and all that's pertinent and like we feel you need to hear about or we want to talk about because this is our show and frankly, we get to do whatever the hell we want to do.
Yeah, and you're welcome for giving you all this news.
Yeah, we prepare quite a lot for this show. I hope you people realize that. We're not
think
just
they
up here
do.
bullshitting.
I think
I
they're
don't
impressed.
know if they do. I hope they are.
Yeah.
I'll show them my notes.
Let's start it off with a couple of guys that, we're going to be getting a deal like this eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, first, hold on, Chad.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
Yes, let's give them the business of the New Heights podcast, Chad. As you were just about to mention, and I abruptly alluded to, they made a lot of money.
They did. Amazon
lot.
has
A lot of money.
a subsidiary company called Wondery. They have a platform that has a ton of podcasts on it. Really good podcast. That's the
Hit
one
us
that does.
up. We'll do
yeah.
it for like 2.
Yes, it's like 2000.
Yeah, seriously.
They also host The Old Man of the Three, but the New Heights podcast with Travis and Jason Kelsey just signed a new deal with them, over $100 million. So they're going to be staying on air for a while.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yep.
Needless to say.
Congrats to them. Pretty good
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, it is a good podcast for sure. We wanted to mention, too, Chad actually wrote this one down so just so you guys don't think I'm a homer, but Bo Nix is the official starter of the Denver Broncos. And this is looking like a rookie class that's all going to wind up starting now, all due to what happened this weekend. What was it, Chad?
Well, Bo Nix, and then it was the last. What were you?
I was talking about Jacoby Brissett.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
I
My
was
bad.
trying
I was trying to
You're
read
good.
this like I was
saw that,
jumping
and then I
forward.
realized.
Trying to find this stat for the kickoff rule. So
Yeah,
I
no,
need
you're
to pay
good.
attention, man.
I volleyed it up, and you were here elsewhere. And I was
That's
like,
my fault of ADHD. That's
no,
what
it
it
happens.
was.
But yeah, tell him.
Jacoby Brissett got hurt, and so Drake May did he did all right, and so he's probably going to be starting. So now we're going to have Jaden Daniels,
Yeah,
Bo Nix, Drake May, and Caleb Williams, all rookies starting week 1.
yeah, pretty wild.
Yeah, I would like to hear how the last time 4 rookies have started week 1 does not happen. very often.
1983.
Yeah,
John Elway, Dan Marino,
that'd be 2 of them.
Jim Kelly,
Yeah.
someone else.
But should be interesting. We got new blood in the NFL. Let's see how they do. Bo Nix, man. He's been looking good.
He has been looking forward to it. But let's talk about the old kickoff rules, Chad.
Oh, I thought you were gonna play. I thought you were gonna hit a soundbite or something.
No.
I thought that's
No,
what I saw your finger move.
Oh no, I
That's
just
hilarious.
adjusted over here. Chad thought something was happening.
Yeah.
No, but let's talk about it. It
Yeah.
has been. It's definitely weird still, but it is nice to have more action.
I
You know
love
what
it,
I mean?
man. I think it is super fascinating. This whole new kickoff rule, it's causing like basically this whole rush of like these plays where these guys are gonna like run through, and if they break one tackle, they could be gone.
Yeah,
In the past, like you maybe break a couple, well, there's like a whole new wave of guys that are going to tackle you. And I mean, there's stats to prove this. And it's also causing a whole new play. They brought up in the Super Bowl last year, there was 13 kickoffs. None of them were returned. And so last year, 22% of kickoffs were returned during the 2023 season. Just in the preseason, that's why we wanted to bring this up
Yeah.
to kind of give you a preview of what might lead into the season. 78% of kickoffs were returned. that's really swayed in the other direction, Christopher.
Yeah, and they also are saying the return yards are up. I think on average is like 26 to 23 last year. And then there was some other stat I saw that was pretty wild too. But it is nice to see it in action and to see it making more action, because we've been talking about it for a while. It's always a bummer. We have... Are you ready for some football? There's the Sunday night football theme and like fireworks, and then it's a kick, and then we have another commercial break.
Very anticlimactic. It's like, oh, we're going to see this. You see all
commercial
the
break. It's like
cameras flash.
Are you ready for some football?
Kneels the ball down in the end zone.
Yeah,
okay,
and then we'll be right back.
Yep. Now I think we're going to see a lot more. I think we're going to see quite a bit more kick return.
I think we
TDs.
haven't even seen like them scratch the surface of the weird shit these special teams coaches are going to concoct.
That could happen.
Because I bet you there's going to be some weird like reverses, end arounds,
laterals.
Who knows, laterals.
Yep.
I mean, anything's possible in this new age of kickoffs.
I'm just pumped for it, man, because you can really see that like these guys, it's just so much more of an opportunity where you're going to get some TDs from all this, man. I think in the case of one of the Chiefs games, you see a tackle made, and then, there's a lot different angles where these guys are like causing fumbles and stuff. So
yeah,
that should be exciting.
Definitely should be. I am looking forward to seeing it in the regular season and seeing what they all are going to do now. But I did want to kind of talk about some surprising cuts. There was one not so surprising cut as the deadline happened today at our time, 2 p.m., for the teams to have their final 53-man roster basically all squared away. And there was some pretty interesting ones that did get cut. I mean, we knew Kadarius Toney was one that was happened for you guys.
Thank God.
Juju Smith-Schuster returns.
Yes. Yeah, wild,
the return of Juju.
I don't know how I feel about it. We'll see.
Yeah, one that kind of blew my mind in terms of the Broncos was definitely Tim Patrick.
Yeah.
Cut Tim Patrick, who, after having a breakout season, got paid and then missed back-to-back seasons due to an ACL and then an Achilles on the same leg the next year in preseason. So definitely a big bummer. I was hoping to see him flourish again, but he didn't stay cut long as the Detroit Lions already picked him up. So,
smart. Yeah, he's going to be on their practice squad, and I think it's awesome because Dan Campbell was quoted saying, I think last week, that they're desperate to find a wide receiver 3 because they got Amon-Ra, Jamison Williams, and then Khalif Raymond, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, they're looking a little thin there. Although another guy, speaking of wide receivers, Noah Brown from the Texans ends up getting cut. He was supposed to be the number 4 behind Diggs, and they just paid him, I think, like $3 million guaranteed this offseason.
He's been a little banged up this preseason, but I mean, down there in Houston, they just have a wealth of riches with wide receivers.
Like, dude,
they also have John Mechie. John Mechie, who was like insane at Alabama.
Yeah. So those was pretty wild. Also, you mentioned earlier when we were talking to Samuel, Samaje Perine has now also been cut by the Broncos. So he's out there and available, and these guys are going to get picked up. Like that Tim Patrick thing, I mean, he was picked up already. These guys are probably going to go off onto another team fairly quickly. I just see Kareem Jackson, dude. K-Jack got cut by the Bills.
Wow, man. Damn. He was headhunting too much.
That's probably it for him, man. He's 36.
Yeah.
So he's probably done.
And I could imagine one of these running backs might go up to Green Bay because they had to put A.J. Dillon on season-ending IR.
Really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, I came across today.
What happened?
I don't know the injury, honestly not. But, dude, that guy's always hurt.
Yeah.
I think it's because
he's
got
so
such
big.
tree trunk legs. They can't hold his
well,
body or
now
something.
he can just focus on farming on his farming simulator stream.
Oh, is that what he does?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That explains
Wow,
his injuries.
he has a season-ending IR with a stinger injury.
Damn, that must be bad. It's probably a neck, and it's probably related to a neck injury, I would imagine. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's not good.
No.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Yeah, next.
Does that wrap it up for
yeah, I think
cuts?
that wraps it up for surprising cuts. I mean, Desmond Ridder got cut by the Cardinals, but he didn't play good.
He's been really
surprisingly Trey Lance,
Dude.
not cut.
He led. Check this out. So nobody cares about preseason stats, but if you were to pay attention to him, he led the league in passing yards and rushing yards.
And interceptions.
Did he really?
We had 5 on Saturday.
Are you serious? He had
5 interceptions.
Wow.
And
Damn,
he was
I
like
did not
31 of 43. And like, everybody was like, wow, the San Francisco 49ers dodged a bullet with that one.
Well, I mean, it's tough if they could get that out of him because that, he could really benefit a team if Dak goes down because there was a play where he like did a keeper and he took off and man, he blasted past everybody. It's for a touchdown.
Jerry Jones came out and was like, he can be a starter, I think. There's some things you don't want to see, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I mean, you got him for nothing. So
I think Jerry Jones is going senile. I mean, did you hear some recent comments that, I think I'm the best GM
I know how
in the
to
league.
fucking run this team and make these deals. It's like, all right, dude.
Oh, man.
We'll see what happens with the whole Dak Prescott fiasco after you just paid CeeDee Lamb, which this is another story. CeeDee Lamb, we posted on our story. But
yeah, he did
CeeDee
get paid.
Lamb got paid.
Just under Justin Jefferson money.
Yeah, second
4
highest
years.
non-quarterback. Justin Jefferson's the first. It's like 4 years, I think $36 million a year.
Yeah,
something like that.
136.
So that's wild. That's a whole lot of money.
How they going to pay Micah? How they going to pay Dak? Who knows?
Yeah, Micah.
You got the best GM in the world, so I guess you'll be able to figure it out.
Yeah. So, what do you want to get into now? A little college football?
Yeah, we'll hit that real quick.
Let's do a little college football.
390. Check. Check. Red 18. Red 18. Needle dick. Needle dick. Needle dick.
That's perfect because
Your name is Needle dick.
that guy's special comes out on Netflix today.
Who?
Adam Sandler's.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, so that's what we're gonna watch after we get done with this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm
That's
pumped,
cool.
man. His stand-up's
He had a
hilarious.
special coming out.
Yep. So let's get into it. We had the Week 0 game.
Which, this
Broke
is always
records for viewership too. A
Well,
lot of people watched it.
Thank God it was a good game.
It really was too.
Yeah, it was a
We
very
watched
good
it
game.
while we were drafting, and unfortunately, number 10 Florida State gets upset by Georgia Tech in Dublin.
Yeah, they got beat up. But yeah, it was still an entertaining game. These Week 0 games are so weird to me because these are supposed to be like, hey, why don't you pick a real terrible team and just kick the shit out of them in Week 0 to get your season going?
Yeah.
That's usually what happens.
But, I mean, kind of. The last couple of years, they've done Notre Dame over there in Dublin. It's been pretty good. This game ended really well. Georgia Tech, man, their running game was out of this world. They were just running all over Florida State. We'll have to pay attention to that later in the year and see if they climb up the ranks. Because right now they're unranked, but yeah, we'll see how that goes.
They're definitely going to jump up.
Quite
they
a
might
bit.
be ranked now after that, but DJ Uiagalelei.
Yeah.
He didn't look very good.
No.
But
especially the Florida State defense, and that's the thing is they lost so many guys in the NFL last year. Both of those guys on the D line went to the Rams.
Yeah, and then like you mentioned, everybody was talking. There was like a lot of I saw like a cut of like Florida State people talking about how Georgia Tech's offensive and defensive lines were just so much better, or not Georgia Tech, Florida State's offensive and defensive lines were just so much better than Georgia Tech, and then it cut to like their running back just running through gaping holes,
and he did a good job, but man, it was the run blocking. I mean, he just had huge holes to go.
He wasn't touched for 10 yards more often than not. It felt like so.
Well, let's get into the hero of the game, though, Pat McAfee, who was on College Game Day beforehand. Man, he went viral for how drunk he got, and I didn't even realize it till I got to the draft, and you guys were telling me about it. I watched some videos later. Man, he had quite a few Guinnesses.
Yeah, they had that WWE star Sheamus behind the bar just pouring pints, and these guys were drinking those 16-ounce Guinness full dark beers, just getting hammered. Pat McAfee's having inner turmoil with himself about whether or not he should drink another beer, and then he slams it, and then he's just standing there looking like he's about to just puke all over on live TV, and it was awesome.
Yeah, he just admitted at one point, he's like, God, I am shit-faced.
I guess he was interviewing somebody. It might have been Saban, and he reintroduced himself 10 minutes into the interview.
Oh, man.
Like he was starting over.
It was great, man. That's awesome. That's John Daly right there.
Yeah,
that's going out there.
John Daly, yes.
Doing your thing.
Yeah.
Who cares, man?
Yeah. I mean, for a guy to go from a punter to what he's done is amazing.
It's unreal, man. He's made so
Speaking
much
of $100 million deals.
Yeah.
He's
That's
had
what
a
I was
few
bringing
of
up
them.
beforehand, dude, is I used to listen to it First Take, but those guys are just getting so clickbaity. He's just trying to say the most outrageous thing just to try to go viral. It is nothing but nails on a chalkboard anymore. So instead, I wait till 10 o'clock and I listen to Pat McAfee, and it's great.
I might have to start doing that because I've been looking for something that kind of covers more sports, and since it is like more of a podcast, you know, that's what it was initially.
There's no commercial breaks until like the first hour, and they're able to cuss. And I mean, dude, they're in the color lab. I just hear you listen to Broncos radio all day long. So that's
today I did that because I was listening to all the cuts, and that sound, dude, that shit was pissing me off. I almost turned it off.
What sound?
You walked back in, and I was like, "What's that noise?" And they were playing some like a cut alarm to let you know when somebody got cut.
Oh man!
And there was fucking 30 cuts.
Oh god, that would
so
get
for
annoying.
like an hour getting up, it's just like Broncos cut alert, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I thought we were burning down for a minute. I thought there was like a fire drill happening. But yeah,
that
it
would
was
be
nice.
annoying.
Normally, I let Caesar listen to music because I'm like, I'm not gonna make him. But I was by myself the last couple of days. So.
Yeah, that's the one place where you get good old classic radios in the color lab.
Oh yeah, I was gonna start listening to 103.5 The Fox.
Yeah,
you know. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to start doing that because that's something I need. I need a little more breadth instead of like finding an MLB podcast to listen to. Finding.
That's what and that's what I've done, and it's kind of a blessing in disguise that the Call guys broke away from around the NFL, because now I've almost got double the content. And now I listen to NFL Daily, Heed the Call, and then of course like my Chiefs podcast. I mean, I'm just basically eliminating ESPN, just like what you guys should do. Listen to podcasts instead of all those big network people.
Why listen to some guy like Stephen A. Smith get paid $100 million just to make shit up to piss people off?
Dude, they just say, I mean, you hear them repeat themselves so many times. Jokic can't jump on a curve. Jokic can't jump on a Oh, my God. It's just, and the thing of it is like, then when you see, especially when they give like predictions before a game and you see a panel and you see the logos of the team they pick, and then, of course, they're all wrong. So much. All the time, they're wrong.
Yeah,
they're making the same type of guesses and
clickbait. That's what I'm saying. That's like was one of the things where I was like, dude, all you have to do is be personable and knowledgeable, and you can do this.
Yep.
That's why we started to do it, because we were like, look at what the hell we're doing. We're spending all this time just talking to each other about it. Might as well put it out into the world. Yep. But then you got people like Stephen A. Smith just making shit up.
I mean, he's just on repeat, man. It's just a broken record at this point. It's like, dude, you have the money to hire people to write jokes for you, to write new material. Like, are you kidding me? You say Jokic can't jump on a curb. Any time Jokic gets brought up.
I mean, he can't jump on a curb, but...
yeah, it's a good impression, dude. Well done, man. Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to...
Well, speaking of Heed the Call, let's throw that a little bone to ourselves.
Dude, right?
Justin Graver is going to be joining us again, who just so happens to now be the producer again for Heed the Call.
And pretty much third member, and he's a big part of that show. Gets on there on video and gives his takes, and he pretty much is the Titans insider for him as well. So, yeah, I believe it's right after week 1. We'll be having him on.
Yeah, so that's is that before or after the 100th?
That's right after.
Oh, so it's the week after the 100th, I believe.
Yep. So Grave Digger will be coming out. Dude,
Digger.
We've got to get a Grave Digger soundbite.
We will. Grave Digger.
That's what we're going to do, man.
The only thing is I'll have to find out a way for him to be able to hear it, because he won't hear it.
Yeah. Maybe we'll play it on my phone or something.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Want to hit some golf news?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a little golf news, why don't we?
Back to Adam Sandler, man.
Yeah, let's do it. Back to the old Adam Sandler.
The Sandman.
The Sandman.
kind of sounded like a golf ball. I popped my finger.
It was at the. It was almost at the same time as the ball.
That was perfect.
Yes.
Well,
answer us like Chad's knuckle just answered the bell.
PGA was in our backyard over the weekend.
Yes, the BMW Championship at Castle Pines.
It was beautiful, too.
It was very nice, and the golfers struggled. A lot of people were saying these guys are going to crush this course up there in the mountain air where the ball's going to fly forever, and they had a rough go of it, especially Keegan Bradley barely made the cut.
Yeah, and ends up winning the whole thing.
Yeah, imagine
Crazy.
that.
Yeah, I mean, dude, to me, I'm looking at it, and Adam Scott, it's really the one that blew it because he was right up there, had the lead or was right under the lead at second for most of the weekend, and then fell to like third or fourth, I think is when he finished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was cool to have PGA back here. There's a lot of good golf courses in Colorado. There used to be an actual PGA Tour stop back in the day. I can't remember. I think it was at Cherry Hills.
I think you're right.
But that was a really good one. I remember my dad going to those back in the day and hanging out and watching. It would be really cool to go down and check it out, although I don't know how you get into those.
I have no idea.
I thought it was like free, but there was only like first come, first serve.
I bet for one, it's like
know.
first come, first. The first come, first serve probably goes to the club members, I'm sure. But yeah, I don't know that. I used to have a bunch of friends that went down to Tulsa, because there'd be a PGA Tour event there. I'm not sure what it's called, but people really liked going down to that. But yeah, Keegan Bradley, don't really hear that name too often, so hats off to him trying to make a name for himself.
Yeah, and he goes from number 50 to number 4 in the standings, and he's going to start 4 shots behind Scotty Scheffler at Eastlake with a good chance of winning the FedEx Cup, and it's $25 million prize.
Yeah, quite a bit.
He also became the first Ryder Cup captain, as he was just appointed to that 6 weeks ago, to win a PGA Tour event in 9 years. So that's pretty good for him, man.
Pretty badass, man.
Good way to go, Keegan.
A little golf clap for you. Yeah. That's what we got to do for you. All right.
Shh.
Let's shift gears a little bit. See what I did there?
Yeah, I know what you're doing. I'm already on my way. Here we go.
We're going to go slow golf play to Need for Speed.
I've got the need for speed.
Man, McLaren has got it.
Man, I almost posted. I got busy this weekend and didn't. But there was a video of the gyro cam on damn it, the McLaren car. Why can't I think of it? He won it.
Like Lando Norris?
Yes.
Oh.
I don't know why I just brain farted right there. But it was on the top of Lando's car, and it was his qualifying lap. And, dude, that car is insanely fast.
I mean, did you see Fernando Alonso inspecting it after the win?
He's like getting down.
He's like, how in the hell?
Man?
22 seconds, dude.
It was a Max Verstappen type win.
It really was. And for one, that was even better. The commentators did a really good job of like pointing that out, that like when Max was winning last year and on that streak, because his car is not what it was last year.
No, they got something serious going on. I don't know what it is.
I mean, it's just not at the same level as McLaren, but they pointed that out. They said when Max was dominating last year, he was winning races by 15, 16 seconds sometimes, but nowhere near this.
Yeah, well, and it happened. It was pretty early on. I mean, he got Lando in the first lap, and Lando was basically saying, like, had it not been for that, he felt like that would have been, like, a perfect race. But Max gets him on the first lap, and it wasn't too long. I want to say it was, like, the
lap 14.
Was it 14?
Something like that.
And I'm surprised it was that long because he was bearing down on him, and then he got that DRS, and as soon as he hit that, man, it was just like... And that was the end of it.
You
like
just
a rocket,
saw
dude.
the gap just climb and climb. It went from 4 seconds every lap. Like he just got faster and faster. I mean, I could not believe it. I mean, afterwards you were hearing on the radio, Max, he's basically just like conceded. He was like, yeah, we got P2. Cool. But
yeah, he was pretty. I think he's kind of subsided to the fact they don't have a car this year that can compete right now.
It's basically if they could finish second and tried. If Perez actually did decent. He started
sixth.
5th, got 6th.
Lost a place, but hey.
Still got some points, so that's better. But, yeah, I mean, McLaren is really nipping at the heels of Red Bull now because Piastri finished where was it? God damn it, I just had...
Oh, Piastri finished 4th.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sainz was right behind
Oh,
him.
there it is. Yeah,
Max Verstappen in second.
Yeah. So yeah, Perez did finish in 6th. So we're gonna take a look at the constructors cup here in the standings. We got Red Bull at 408 points. Now McLaren's at 366.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're getting close.
And then you got Ferrari at 345. So man, it's getting to be a tight race, and it really could come down to the last Abu Dhabi race.
Abu Dhabi. Yeah, and you look at the driver's standings. You got Max Verstappen in first, 295 points. Lando Norris is creeping up on him at 225. Charles Leclerc in third with 192. But I mean, when you're getting 26 points. And the guy behind you is getting 18, you're going to start chipping away.
Yeah, and I mean, it does make a lot of pressure come down on Red Bull, because if, perhaps one of those guys if they get a DNF on any of these upcoming races, that's going to kill them.
Yeah.
Especially Max. So, I mean, McLaren's really got 2 fast cars right now. So, this upcoming weekend, we do have Monza, Ferrari's home track.
Yeah, so that should be an exciting one for all the old Ferrari fans out there.
Very historic track.
I'm cruising in my Rari, But, yeah, so that one is going to be a fun one. What's the time on that one? Did you see that?
I do have the calendar pulled up. Let me see. At 7 a.m. again.
7 a.m.
Yeah.
All right, well.
Italian GP.
Italia.
Go get some gelato and watch some racers.
Yeah, drink some vino, eat some gelato. Do all them Italian things.
All right.
But let us move into going hard in the paint, man. Let's do it. Hold on a second. Maybe. Here we go.
Take it roll! Take it roll! Outlet! Rain dance!
Sandy, come on. Sandy!
T, come on. I'm burning. My lungs are burning.
We're going to start off, I know it's like the NBA, but we're going to go WNBA a little bit.
That's right. There ain't much news in the NBA, and so WNBA is happening right now.
Yeah, and Angel Reese is continuing her dominance. I heard her compared to the female version of Draymond Green.
Draymond Green.
Whoa, 2 weird brain farts. I think I'm having a stroke, guys. Draymond Green, that's what they're saying. As she, what's she on, like 3 right now?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's continued since then. She's had 3 games in a row with over 20 rebounds. But I don't know if it's doing better or worse for her team, or if their other players aren't playing as well.
Because they keep losing.
They've lost all 3 of those games.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem like it's benefiting.
Yeah.
Maybe she's getting kind of acting like a ball hog. And her rival, Caitlin Clark, has moved ahead of her in the standings. So right now, the Breanna Stewart is just dominating. The Liberty are 26-5. Connecticut, 22-7. And then Minnesota Lynx, the surprising one, are 22-8 on the 3rd seed. Well, let's go down here to the bottom of the standings. Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark. Ever since they snubbed her from the Olympic team, which I don't really disagree with, she's just been on a tear and has climbed them up to the 7th seed and right above Chicago Sky.
Yeah, and since coming back from that Olympic break, as you just mentioned, they are 2-1, and she's scoring 20 or more points in all 3 of those contests.
I just bet on her last night to beat the Dream, and paid off, man.
Yeah, and she was named the WNBA Eastern Conference Player of the Week, as she averaged 25 points, 9 assists, and 5 rebounds per game, while also setting a slew of records. She became the first franchise rookie leader and made 3-point field goals with 81, passed Tisha Pinachiero's record of 224 assists to become the WNBA all-time rookie leader in assists, and also joined Aaliyah Boston and Tamika Catchings as the only players in franchise history to score at least 500 points in a rookie season. And I think, I just kind of snorted there, I think she's also probably going to get the WNBA Rookie of the Year as well, to add to that slew of history that she's just continuing to knock off as she goes.
It was really looking like Angel Reese there in the beginning of the season, but I mean, Reese doesn't really score a lot. She gets a lot of rebounds, and you think about it, Caitlin Clark's really the point guard. She is
she's gonna, I mean,
facilitating everything.
if you watch those the rebounds she's getting, most of them are on the same play. She had, like, I watched one highlight, and it was literally 4 or 5 of her own rebounds.
Oh, my God. She just can't make it.
She was just like, and then they finally fouled her, and I was like, holy, that was like 5 rebounds right there.
God.
Like,
She's
no wonder
just
she got
stat padding.
20.
She's stat padding, man. It's Russell Westbrook out there.
Hey.
I know.
Speaking of Russell
Shit,
Westbrook,
sorry. Excuse me.
he's on our side now.
know.
But did you hear
Can't
the
say.
news about him?
Huh.
Christian Braun said, no to taking number 0 from him. Straight up told him, nah.
Well, yeah, I did hear that when he first came here, they announced that he's
Yeah.
going to take a different number. So, hell yeah.
Yeah, and then Tyson,
Hunter Tyson?
Hunter Tyson.
There you go.
Jesus Christ, dude. Hunter Tyson gave him his number.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
Now Russell Westbrook will be number 4. Hunter Tyson will be number 5.
I think this will be the first time Westbrook's not 0, huh?
I want to say he was something else on Oklahoma at a point in time, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, who knows?
But yeah, in terms of the NBA, not much else going on.
I'd say let's shift gears and let's go to the summer sport.
Yes.
Let's hit the diamond.
Let's go to the MLB.
Vaughn, a juvenile delinquent in the offseason in his major league debut.
Gonna light your ass up, me.
Vaughn into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Yes.
We really got some news to talk about for baseball coming up. Did you see my new hard hat, my new sticker for it?
No, is it Royals?
Yeah, I put because it's blue. I was like, I just didn't seem right putting a Chief sticker on here, so I got like a legit decal that is supposed to be used. I mean, dude, it was like $15. I was like, God damn, I hate to spend this much on it. But it's like supposed to be put on like if you're a little league baseball helmet or high school or something like that. But it's only like one. The big one's only like on one side. So now I got to buy another one for the other side of the hard hat.
Yeah.
But
son of a.
I'm going all in on my Royals, baby.
Hey, they're looking damn good this year as Bobby Witt Jr. continues just raking as he has all along since the All-Star break. So
yeah, but the story of it is Aaron Judge, man. Just last night, and I heard on PTI just this afternoon. So he leads since 2018.
he's like having one of the best seasons as a hitter in all of baseball.
Yeah,
ever.
I think it's pretty much. I think it's 2018 or 19. He leads the majors in homers with 252. He also leads the majors in homers taken away with 9, and he did it again the other night. I think it was last night. He had a great catch where he robbed a home run. I mean, he's 6'7", so it makes sense. But I think he's really wrapping up AL MVP. I'm fine with Bobby Witt getting runner-up, but he's now crossed 50 home runs. Just to give you a little insight on how remarkable that is, he's a New York Yankee, and he's one of 5 players to hit 50 home runs 3+ times, one of 4 center fielders to hit 50 home runs in multiple seasons, the first player to hit 50+ home runs 3 times within their first 8 seasons in MLB history. I mean, this guy's rewriting history right here.
He is.
Yeah.
And it's pretty incredible. I mean, we talked about it before. The guy literally looks like he was built in a lab for playing baseball.
Yeah.
He's a giant of a human being. He hits like there's, it's crazy at this point. He almost killed an umpire with a broken bat over the weekend. Did you see that?
Well, yeah, are you talking about the one from yesterday?
Was it yesterday?
Yeah, I didn't know that was him hitting it though.
Yeah, I think
I
it
didn't
was.
know that. Wow, yeah, because
or was it Giancarlo Stanton? It was one of them.
Yeah, I reposted it a couple of times because the slow mo of it was
Just
nuts. The bat swung back around at him right in the jaw.
He had a concussion and
God
shit.
damn, it looked hurt bad.
But
now he's up to 51 home runs.
Yeah,
I'm
he did
looking at
that on my Rockies.
Yeah, stats here. Well, that's easy to do. But let's go to the other side. We can spend a while on Aaron Judge. Then Shohei Ohtani joins the 40-40 club. 40 home runs. Now he's at 41. And he did it off of, I think this was like last Friday, I believe it was. So it's a few days late, but it's worth mentioning because it's unreal. 40 home runs, 40 stolen bases, and he got the 40th home run on a walk-off grand slam.
Yeah, I saw that. That's one hell of a way to do it. Yeah,
dude, he's a legend. I mean, we're looking at greatness here. I mean, baseball is in such a good place right now. I can't wait for the playoffs. It's by the way things are looking, there's a good chance the Yankees are going to play the Royals in the playoffs, and that makes me a little nervous, but I'm really hoping we can get the upset.
Yeah, and he's going to continue the greatest season ever by a designated hitter. He's going to become probably the first National League designated hitter to win MVP, as they have now fully adopted the designated hitter. And he's now pitching again. They're getting ready to. He's starting to, I think he threw a bullpen session over the weekend.
Really?
So he is getting back to throwing again, and they are pretty surprised at how quickly he has gotten back to throwing already, and how quickly he is progressing too. So
yeah,
pretty wild.
How about we go to the other side of that and talk about a team that is making history by sucking?
The White Sox, which there were some crazy stats I heard that comparing them to Aaron Judge. He has 51 home runs. I think the White Sox have like 103 total.
Oh, wow.
And then I
Like
think
103 like home runs? Or
yeah, as a team, and he has 51.
Damn.
So that's, 9 guys playing.
But,
and then also I think he has this almost the same amount of runs batted in or something like that.
I wouldn't doubt it, man. The White Sox, and it's not even like they're trying to win. It's I think they're actually trying to make history. I know you've got a stat you're going to bring up. I want to say this one right here. The White Sox right now, Chicago White Sox, are 31-100. That's the MLB's worst record through 131 games in 108 years. Congratulations to all involved.
Yeah, they're doing pretty bad. I don't know what stat I was going to bring up.
It was the other one. That's the 6th fastest, I think, to 100 games.
I didn't add that.
Losses.
Yeah, so I forgot to add that on the notes that I have. But, yeah. So they're not doing very good, and they continue to not do very good. I don't know.
I don't think anything's going to change.
Yeah, second fastest to lose 100 games in the modern era. So that's what I was going to bring up.
Nice.
Thank you, Chad.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into the standings a little bit. We kind of talked about the American League already with Samuel earlier with his Orioles.
Let's give you a little update on that.
Getting close and hot on the heels of the New York Yankees.
Here. Your Rockies are National League. I'll take American League because I want to talk about the Royals.
That's fair.
Then you can talk about
works.
the Rockies.
I didn't even think about that. Go for it because my team sucks.
I just now realized that. Okay, but yeah, the Yankees have now climbed 2 games up on the Orioles, so they're starting to play really good. They're 6-4 in their last 10 games. Then you go down to the Central Division. I'll give you the record real quick. They're 78-54, relative. Then the Guardians, who the Royals are playing right now in a series. I could check the score. I think they were up 2-0 or something earlier, but that was like the first inning. They are 1 game up on the Royals. I cannot believe it. The Royals are climbing up in that gauntlet of division.
Delay, bottom of the 5th.
Oh, damn, man.
2-1 Kansas City.
It happened yesterday too. But yeah, the Royals are only 1 game back. The Guardians are 75-57, and then you got the Twins at 2.5 games back from the Royals. Then, of course, luckily the White Sox are in that division, who are 44 games back of the Guardians.
They got 31. They have already lost 100 games. They're
101.
They could turn it around.
We still have 30 games left. So
yeah, they could get to 60 and just not lose anymore,
All right, so the Astros in the West Division, they are 3.5 games up on the Mariners. The Mariners have cooled off a little bit. They're 4-6 in their last 10. And then you got the Angels to round out last place in that division. That wraps up the American League.
Well, let's move on to the National League. In the East, you got the Phillies, one of the best teams in baseball all year, 77-54. They've won 6 of their last 10, they've been 6-4. The Atlanta Braves are right behind them, Chad's other team. They are at 71-60.
They've been
they
playing
are
good.
on a tear. They got 7 wins in their last 10 games. Go into the Central Division there. We got the Milwaukee Brewers and the Chicago Cubs. Milwaukee is in first, 75 wins, 55 losses. They've been pretty good their last 10 games. Both teams, the Chicago and Brewers, have won 7 of their last 10. Chicago is, though, a little bit behind with 10 games to make up, as they are sitting at a good even 66 and 66. Going into the West, the Los Angeles Dodgers, the team that should have the most wins, because they pay a lot of money for their roster, are sitting in first at 78 wins, 53 losses. The Diamondbacks right behind them with probably not even half as much on their roster in terms of spent money, 75 and 56. Both teams have won 7 of their last 10 games. And the Rockies, I had a weird burp there. They're doing real good, 49 and 83. Haven't lost 100 games yet.
Not as bad as the White Sox. That's
yes.
But, man, dude, baseball has not changed much. Look at that. The Dodgers and the Yankees have the best records in baseball. That is something else.
Yeah, and then one of them will get beat in the first round. Watch.
I sure hope
the
so.
The Orioles will probably beat the Yankees at some point.
Real quick, though, there was an amazing documentary released on Sunday night for Greg Maddux, man. It was released only on MLB Network. So I'm saying this in hopes that one of our listeners can let me know if there's any other platform for me to watch that. It's about Greg Maddux, the professor. I grew up watching this dude in the 90s for the Braves, and I mean, this guy was an assassin with his pitches, and it just goes so into detail of how he was groundbreaking and was doing things that nobody else was doing, and how meticulous he was with his pitches. I want to watch it, so I don't have MLB Network. If anybody's got a way for me to watch it, let me know.
I watched a clip, and it was his catcher. Fuck, I can't remember his name. Talking about how he would call his own pitches by how he caught the ball. Like, if he caught it like this, it was a changeup. If he caught it and I
retweeted that when I saw it, dude.
And I was like, that's crazy, man.
It was nuts, man. And
now they have the pitch comm. They have a thing on their wrist that they can. That's how they call pitches.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because they're getting tired of sign stealing.
See, Greg Maddux was ahead of his time.
Yeah,
they don't even know. But, yeah, and it's great because they got interviews with Chipper Jones, John Smoltz, all of the 90s greats. I hope Andrew Jones is on there. I was a big fan of his, too. So, yeah. Please, if anybody knows where I can watch this, let me know.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's great.
We might be able to find some illicit ways to watch it, you know?
I'm sure we could. But, Chris, I do believe it is time for the legend to put a bow on this.
Yeah, it is about that time. We don't have anything else, do we, huh?
Nope.
Yep, that's it, man. Hot damn, look at that. We're right on frickin' time. The man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. John Daly, is going to hit it hard, man.
I hit it hard, man. So far, man. No laying up, no holding back. Ain't afraid of nothing, it's a natural fact. I hit it long, man. Till it's gone, man. Keep taking chances, living large. I hit it hard.
That's right. It's time for the Daily Dose of Excellence. And we'll probably clip a video in here or share it when we clip this out. But this one goes out to the Little League World Series, which a lot of times you'll see a lot of these good moments from the Little League World Series. Sometimes I do feel weird that they have it on ESPN and stuff, and I don't think these kids are getting paid in any sort of way, which is strange. I think we need to get an NIL going for the Little League World Series.
Dude,
but
kid shows up to middle school in a Lambo. You're like, got a nil deal.
Yeah,
what are you guys doing?
No big deal. This weekend, Florida knocked off Chinese Taipei in a thrilling walk-off fashion. And, unfortunately, I mean, you see guys lose the Super Bowl and break down and cry. Well, this kind of happened in a pretty bummer way. It was an error on a bunt that ended up costing Chinese Taipei the game, as it was like a walk-off error, basically. And it was really cool because you feel bad for the Chinese team because, like, immediately all these kids break down and they're just, like, sobbing uncontrollably. And it's it's the kid who made the errors the worst off. And before any of the Florida kids went and celebrated, they all went and hugged the other team, and kind of consoled them. And it was a very cool moment, especially, there's a lot of bad stuff in the world. And every once in a while, you just need some good sportsmanship to kind of bring it in and be like, you know what? It's not all about
It's just
winning.
a game, man.
Yeah.
It's just a game. There's no reason to get nasty about it or anything like that. And I think what needs to be mentioned here, for one, the players did a great job. It didn't look like they need to be told to do this or anything like that. And so then you got to hand it off and really give a hand to the coaches. And the parents who have really instilled that into those kids to go and do a thing like that. Because, you could see all of these Chinese players were completely distraught after that. Everybody would, man. And so, to go through there and console them afterwards, to hug them, it was a great show of sportsmanship and really a showing of what sports is all about, really.
Yeah. And
what it should be.
Yeah, and we mentioned it too. Chad's wearing a Joker shirt right there. I almost call him Jokic. Jimmy Joe Jerkic. But we talked about it in the Olympics when Serbia beat, was it Germany?
Germany, yep.
Germany. Jokic went, and before he celebrated with his team, he went and shook the hands of every single player and coach on the other team, and then he went and celebrated with his team after the fact. And it's stuff like that where, especially in pro sports, I don't. It's cool to see, but I don't really care at the same time. I'm like, these guys make millions of dollars. The Olympics is a little bit different, but in terms of like an NBA game, like I really don't care about that stuff at the end of the day. Most of those guys are friends
kinda disagree,
anyways.
man. I definitely disagree because I think that like it is an example that they can set for the younger generation. Because what I was going to say is LeBron James should take a look at this and take a page from Florida's book and see what sportsmanship looks like, because there's you could find a YouTube video of like 8 minutes long of when he not only just walks off, but before the game's over with. There could be 2 minutes left, and they're down and they're not going to win, and he just walks to the locker room, man.
Shit like
it's a bad sport, dude.
That is
like,
bad.
You're
King
right. James, man. You're acting like a peasant.
Oh, speaking of which, before we get out of here, did you see the video of him on, I don't know what podcast it was, but they were asking him if Bronny was going to call him dad?
Yeah.
And he's like, nope, not when we're at work. He's like, it's either going to be 2-3, Bron, or Goat, whatever he wants to call me. I'm just like, dude, you suck.
I hate LeBron James, man. I am sorry, dude. Nope, you will never be the GOAT. Sorry. If it wasn't for Steph Curry, you would have not gotten gold medal, man. There's no doubt about it.
Pretty much. So on that, we shall be getting out of here. That does it for episode 98. We appreciate each and every one of you tuning in each week. If you haven't yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification button so you know whenever we share new videos. Make sure you're sharing those videos because we need more eyes on them. All the eyes.
Yeah.
But we are going to get out of here on that note. Chad Lee,
appreciate you guys. Love you, buddy.
We'll
Thanks
see
for
you guys
listening.
next week, episode 99.
We're creeping up on it, man.
Who do we have on next week?
We don't have a guest playing next week.
Oh my God, we got work to do.
Yeah.
Let's get to it, Chad.
I know. I've been trying to get a fantasy person on, so we'll see.
We'll see you guys next week. Who knows what'll happen?
Hey, we got a double episode next week. Next Wednesday is our draft.
Oh, holy shit! I thought it was tomorrow.
Oh. It is tomorrow. So we got a double episode this week. Tomorrow is our draft.
Yeah, we were already supposed to have been out of here, but we just came to a realization. We'll see you guys next week. Or tomorrow, actually. Toodles.
Love y'all.